Alright, good morning members. Let's go for a quick garden walk on the western side because that's where I'm working at the moment. Sorry, my shadow's just casting over that. Really nice bilberger, Kawana, purple rain. I've just been pollinating earlier this morning, so I've already been out here once. So this property's acreage, and I've got several tunnels and greenhouses spread over the front half acre or so, where I grow most of the different Bromeliads, and over the past 12 years or so worked out zones that work really well. So the plants are planted generally in what I call plant zones. So this section here is Gedeias. Let me get away from that sun. Are Gedeias and near Regelias that are under shade cloth. They're 80% black shade cloth because we're in southeast Queensland on the coast and we get really intense heat and lots of UV, and it bleaches the plants out, so they do need the black. And as you can see, there's plenty of coloration in the gardens, especially those that have been here for long periods of times and become accustomed to the different lighting levels. Let's go for a brief walk around the areas that I have been attending to. So this is Gedeias. Gedeias used to be Varishas, but they were split into their own subfamily. So these are Gedeias, and I've got a couple that are out in flower at the moment. This is Shiva, is out in flower at the moment. So they've got these beautiful distinct yellow flowers. So we've got a Tiger Tim, a white zombie, and a son of Tiger Tim, as well as some Medinas and a seedling variety, a dark reddish variety in here. This dark variety still needs to be named, so a couple of seedlings that are growing out more near Regelias and bilbergers. Grow a lot of bilbergers, and they love this side of the property, not the other side. It's too shady, so they all are over this side of the property. So lots of different stables or prefixes or hybridizers, all the same thing, they mean the same thing. So whether it be Kawana, which is Stuart Beasley's, which is this first one, which in this case is Scaramouche, or Stormy, that's myself, my hybrids, that one there is Humdinger, Talbot, that's Cherry Maple, and that would be Len and the late Len and Cheryl Waite. Then we have Alina, which is Jen Burrows, and again the late Jen Burrows, I can't say that, the late Jen Burrows. And then we've got some varieties from Kalan, which is Russell Holsheimer, and we also have Bell Honeywood, which is Kuna, is hers as well. Over here, whole arrangement of different bilbergers that are Kawanas and Talbots that have been hybridised, and a couple of gens there as well that I can see that have been hybridised. I've got to take flowers and register, etc. And I can see one that's just coming into flower of gens that I do need to get some photos of, so I'll swap camera mode later and get some pictures of this one as it blooms, because it's been named, so I think that's Ditzy. So I'll just go through them and send off registrations to Graham as I go. Rightio, lots of bilbergers as you see. That's because I'm in the process of taking off brittle hangers and changing pot sizes into larger pot sizes, or just refreshing any of the older pots. They're also being sprayed several times with the insecticides, either Spectrum or Conguard, to eliminate scale and insects as well. Throughout the garden is also being sprayed because I have a lot of ticks and I have anaphylaxis reactions to ticks. So I'm spraying the whole garden. So I haven't been done for 2 years, so it's quite an exercise to do such a large property. Okay, we're going into what is one of my bilberger tunnels. This is the largest tunnel on the property for bilbergers. It's not my largest tunnel by any means, but it's a big tunnel. So this one is 12 metres long, so most people's backyard, 12 metres long, and it's 3.5 metres high, and it is 50% black on top and 30% on the sides, and it's where I house all of the mature bilbergias, near-regilias, eekmeas, and younger pups from alcantarias. I want to get down there to the one that's in flower, but there's a spider in the path, and I've just knocked its web down once already, and it's re-spitting. But that's okay. Outside gardens, no sun protection, no shade cloth out there. It's all natural. The only protection they've got is this massive big travelling palm, Madagascar travelling palm, that the microbats feed on. That my husband wants to excavate, but he's not going to be getting rid of that one. So, lots of bilbergias. I'm not going through them all. Black Beauty there is Stuart Beasley's very old hybrid, but it's such a great one that we use for hybridising. This is Kathy. No, it's not. It's Sandra. Sorry, you're going to have to excuse me. Today's the day I don't take the medication. That helps with my memory. Sandra is that one, and Sandy is the near-regilia that's down below the pink one. They're all Sandys, just they're at different stages of growth. So it's not about lighting. They're all beside each other, so you can clearly see that. But the one in the centre is the really pink one is more mature. That's why it's flushing, because it wants to attract the bees and insects to pollinate the flowers that are within the vase, so they flush that gorgeous colour. This big Variesia hieroglyphica, it's a species. It's hard to get them on their own that haven't been crossed, because they've been crossed so many times. So this one's coming into flower, so it will all be self-pollinated in a protected area where it can't be pollinated by anything else. I'm just going to look around, and I don't even think I've got any Variesis that are close to flowering at the moment. So this particular one is a Variesia hieroglyphica. It will be selfed, and the seed will then be put down. A couple of Giddings variety. This is Flash Kathy, and this bilbergia is Eddie Bay's, which is the Giddings variety, Giddings name, Eddie Bay Outlaw, and that is basically a really short walk through, because I don't want to do a big long file. It's a really short walk through. If you've got a nice area that's got some light, it's cool, and is kept reasonably out of direct sun, Variesia White Cloud do really well as well. So I've got two lovely big pots of that. Now I hybridise, I grow from seed as well. So I pollinate different plants. I save the pollen, that type of thing, and create seedlings. So this one was one that I did a number of years ago that I wanted to get lineation. So it's one of the Dorothy crosses that I did. I'm not sure if I like it yet, I haven't decided yet. Lots more seedlings here of different sizes. Yesterday was Cryptanthus Day for the page, and so you can see, folks, that the Cryptanthus grow, for me, best on the bottom layer of the shade houses. They're getting filtered light, like you can see. They get filtered light throughout the day, different intensities. The floor of all of the shade houses here are crusher dust, which is crushed up concrete, and so it holds moisture, and there's weed matting beneath it, and it holds moisture, and so it creates a humid environment beneath them. So one of the suggestions was to put a saucer beneath your plants that contained some gravel and moisten it, and then it will create the right humidity for these plants. And so instead of me putting saucers underneath mine, I just put it down. The whole floor became gravel, because it works for all the plants. It keeps them a little bit cooler during the hotter temperatures that we sometimes experience, and do definitely experience over summer. Sun's glaring through, so I won't go that way. Alright, so that's a bit of a brief overview of the western side of the property, bar the side tunnel. Other than that, most of the work here is just tidying up and doing some repotting of another 50 or so pots. But most of the structural and the dead leafing has been done over the past 6-7 weeks. So many of these near-regilias, this is one from Kingfisher, Neil Bain, again need to be photographed and registered as well. So got my work cut out for me. So I bought a new toy. This one here, this is a nice near-regilia. This is ruddy big. This is a Jen Burrows' hybrid. There's 5 in the sibling Grex of this one. This is ruddy big. This is hands up. There's another hands up here. Then we've got red thing here. which isn't stable. Half is variegated and half is not, but this is what you end up with if you end up with pups on the variegated side of the plant. And this is the one that I need to work now to stabilise this one, and any novas, so no variegation, will be discarded, is the instructions that I've been given. So this one is called Red Thing. Yeah, Jen came up with some interesting names. Red Thing, of course she did. But there are some really pretty ones. Another little one in the same Grex is this little chubby one here, and another one in the same Grex is an orange one here called Rojo, which she loved as well. So, and this is another one of hers as well. So there's a few of them coming along, folks, as per her wishes, that will all go through the registration process as they mature. So hence the new toy that I'm playing with, to take some more photographs, especially with bilbergias. We have to wait for them to flower before we can register them. Neoregelia the same, as it flowers, as this one is in flower. As that centre opens, I'll see if I'm centred, I am. As this centre opens and the flowers start to open up and I can take photographs of each individual flower, then the plant database then can get pictures of the different colours of their flowers. All of the measurements are used, width and length of the leaves, overall description of the plant is made, including, you know, the diameter of the spines, whether they're uniform or not, etc. This one has got upward facing spines, as all of they do in the Grex. Its parentage gets recorded, that gets lots of photographs while the plant is dry, not wet, while the plant's dry, and in shady conditions, and then it goes off for registration when there is enough of them. Currently in this particular variety, which I'm looking at, which is Rojo, it is the one and only. So I need to have enough of them, so it's got to pup repeatedly, it's got to show its stability, and once that's all happened, yeah, it can go off for registration, but it takes time, so those photographs then need to be stored. Lots of pretties, lots of work still to do, and that's why I'm retired. Alright folks, happy gardening, enjoy your weekend, and I hope your weather is a little bit more stable than the stormy southeast at the moment. Alright, that's my video for the morning walkthrough. We'll do something a little bit more different next time. We'll go through and have a look at some of the epiphytes that have been growing up the trees for the last couple of years, because I haven't even seen them. It's been years since I've been in the gardens. So that's the next video. Alright, happy gardening. Bye now.